Hi, I'm Eddie.
And I'm Megan.
And we are the hosts of Kill the Bottle podcast, where guess what we do? We kill bottles. We talk to guests. We talk about food, wine, travel, amazing guests like country singer Martina McBride.
Director Paul Feig.
Ooh, that's right, Paul Feig. Broken Shaker co-founder Gabe Horta.
Comedian Brad Williams.
Enrico Suave. Gerardo Mejia.
Oh, do not forget Craig Kilborn.
I can never forget Craig Kilborn because you have the biggest crush on Craig Kilborn, Megan. And if you want to find out how badly she has it, please listen to the episode of Craig Kilborn. We even have creators of TV shows like Dave Knoll, who created Chopped. One of my favorites.
Richard Blaze.
Hello,
The chef.
Chef
He's been on a
Blaze.
million shows.
And his wavy hair. So if you want all of these, come on over to Kill the Bottle podcast, rate, review, wherever you get your freshly squeezed podcast.
It's a very important time of year again.
To rotate my tires?
No, Chico.
Is it time to start holiday shopping already?
No, man. It's time to make our voices count by voting in the midterm elections.
Oh, that very important time of year.
Yeah, that's right. Election Day is Tuesday, November 8th, which is actually right around the corner.
Yeah, and Flick.vote has gathered all the information you need in one spot.
Like the fact that you need to request your vote by mail ballot no later than October 29th.
Or that early voting starts the last week of October in several parts of Florida.
And early voting ends November 6th, all leading up to the big election on Tuesday, November 8th.
So look, we know there's lots of information out there, but Flick.vote has all this information you need in one spot.
They even have a Voting 101 video detailing what you need to know about voting in Florida, just in case you're curious about any of the recent changes. So visit flick.vote, that's FLIC.vote today, and cast your vote this election day, November 8th, to ensure the voices being heard reflect the diversity that is Florida. Hey everyone, this is DJ.
And this is Ish.
And this is
Season 5 of Pero Let Me Tell You.
Je suis prête. Vous êtes prêts aussi?
I don't know why I thought you were about to go into Sorry
Sorry.
by Madonna.
Oh, no, that's actually, but that is from a Madonna song.
Oh, okay.
Je suis prête, vous êtes prêts aussi? That's the duet she has with Prince. Are
Oh.
you wasting my time?
I totally forgot that song existed.
Okay. Well, with that note, everybody, welcome to episode 228.
Yes, hello. Last week was 227.
Yes, 228. Pero let me tell you, happy Friday, everyone.
Yes.
¿Cómo está todo el mundo?
We're in November, yeah. A fin de año.
Yeah, no,
that's it.
I already
Yeah,
told you it's
yeah.
St. Patrick's Day.
It's
Yeah, the Dollar Tree already has St. Patrick's Day stuff.
You're only half kidding. I'm sure by the time this episode is over on Friday, they will have at least Valentine's.
Well, on during Christmas they have already Valentine's.
That's what I'm saying. By the time you hear this, midweek next week, listeners, Valentine's will be already available at the Dollar Tree.
Yeah, I mean, I have to tell you, the Dollar Tree is a value. We all know that. But I feel that the Dollar Tree of today is very different, or the dollar store of today.
Correct.
It's so different than the dollar store of like the 90s.
And it's because we have Dollar Tree.
Right. The dollar store of the 90s, which I remember had a lot of like knickknacks and things that you really...
Eso todo parecía like un garage sale.
Yeah.
Like that level of quality.
Yeah, they had like little porcelain vases that you would never use.
Everything there looked like un centro de mesa de Hialeah. From like un baby shower.
Yeah, but they didn't have, like, in the 90s, they didn't have, like, name brands, which now they do.
Right. Yeah. Now you can get like actual IP at the Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree sponsor us.
Just like you could get, you know, it's really interesting that, you know, we hear so much in the last several years of like the death of the shopping mall.
Yes.
And how all these like huge stores like Macy's are
Sears.
struggling. Right, but Sears has been struggling for a while, right?
Okay, fair.
But Macy's has been struggling.
Right.
You know what stores have been surging?
Dollar Trees?
Well, Dollar Trees, but what like department stores have been surging?
Oh, department stores. I'm gonna go with like Forever 21s.
Marshalls and TJ Maxx.
Duh. I don't think of those as department stores, but I know they are.
They are.
They are, but I don't think of them.
They have
that way.
different departments.
No, you're absolutely right, but I think of them as just like tiendas.
Yeah. Oh, right. What's a department store? Not a tienda. Una tienda is not a
tienda is not a
department
department
store. Que es una department store, una tienda de departamento.
Yeah, I don't know what that is in Spanish. That doesn't exist.
Una tienda de por departamento.
I know it's so many words.
Yeah, it is.
That's just too much. Nobody's gonna say it.
De departamento. Yeah.
No, you're not wrong. Like, yeah, it's una tienda de departamento, but
Do
that's
you like
just,
Marshalls and TJ Maxx?
I enjoy all of them. The Marshalls, the Rosses, the TJ Maxxes, the Burlington Coat Factories. But
I'm going to tell you something now when you say that.
But tengo que ir con tiempo y paciencia, because ahí es para ir y revolcar.
So here's the thing with those
You can't
stores.
go there. You can't go there like, I'm gonna go buy a white shirt. You can't go there because maybe you
Right.
don't find the shirt in your size or whatever. Right.
Marshalls and TJ Maxx and all those stores, those aren't stores that you go exactly
Para
like
resolver,
what you
right.
said. Looking, I need
Right.
this.
Right.
Right. That's a type of store that you go with some frequency and you
gotta scope it out.
You get smart finds.
Yes. Yes.
At 40 to 60% off name brands.
Absolutely.
Right? Oh, look at these authentic real polo shirts, that are like $30. You know that I love me when I mean a polo shirt, I mean a polo
Yeah,
shirt
like-
polo
like
brand.
Ralph Lauren, yes.
Like that's the one that I like because it fits the best and whatever.
And they're thick, but not
it's like
overwhelmingly.
the ones in Burdines.
Burdines.
I was gonna
Wow.
say that so
On those time
organically.
traveling shopping trips you take.
The ones in the Burdines, which is vintage at this point, or Macy's, they're like $100.
Right.
We're not paying $100 for a polo shirt.
No.
But
It's, it's also why I go to all of those stores for underwear.
oh well, of course.
So lo que es pagar $40 por un Calvin Klein.
So you know it's funny. I go to Marshalls all the time. In fact, I went yesterday. I go to Marshalls all the time. Even
Marshalls
TJ
also
Maxx.
feel free to
You know
sponsor
where
us.
I've never bought anything because I've never found anything. Never, not
Burlington?
once. Nope. Ross.
Really?
I have never found anything at Ross.
The one on Corway.
The one anywhere.
No. The one on Corway in 87. That's a Ross.
Corway.
Donde estaba in the Lionel Play World Shopping Center.
Yes.
That's a Ross. Okay, I do find stuff there.
Never. I've never find anything at Ross. Never. And obviously, I'm not against that type of store because I like Marshalls.
Right. It's just you just don't find
Listeners,
anything.
do you go to Marshalls
Or TJ Maxx.
or TJ Maxx?
They're owned by the same.
Yes.
And there's a third one. Home Goods.
Yes.
Is also them.
Right.
Okay.
But Home Goods is also inside TJ Maxx and Marshalls.
I never find anything at Home Goods.
Oh,
Like Home Goods proper, I never find anything.
pero ¿qué para qué tú quieres Home Goods con las tres cosas que tú tienes en tu apartamento?
I like to buy regalitos for people.
Pero tú vas a comprar regalito. No, Home Goods is good when you need to buy real things like an end table, credenza,
okay.
Un estante, like silverware.
Apparently lots of things in Spanish.
nice plates, servingware,
okay.
partyware.
Got it.
Un
Okay.
cojines bien bonito. Los cojines of Home Goods are great.
I need to watch
You know
my
what I buy the
cojines.
most at Home Goods? Candles.
Oh, you know what? That makes sense.
In fact, I bought a candle yesterday at Home Goods.
Oh, okay.
Because it was a Christmas candle, but it's like a Floridian themed Christmas candle. And I go, let me buy this now because in 4
What
hours
does it
from
smell
now,
like? A Christmas tree
No, it
with
smells
mangoes?
like balsam. It smells like balsam, but it has like a Sunshine State kind of thing.
okay.
I'm like, let me buy this now because in 4 hours it will be gone.
4? That's too long.
So, listeners, do you go to Marshall?
A marcha de arroz y a TJ Maxx.
Yeah, I have to tell you, my moms are Marshall's OG. My mom's been going to Marshall since the 80s.
Oh, my mom too.
But I feel that Marshalls and TJ Maxx, like they've been around for a very long time. But I feel that in the last 10 years,
They've gained a certain cred.
yes,
Yeah.
like people legitimately go to these stores.
That's because people have become Maxinistas.
I guess.
Listen, branding does wonders.
No, but they legitimately they're on the radar of
Yeah.
people. And
See,
they've been around forever.
ante people would kind of thumb their nose at it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I'm saying, buy your 2XS underwear anywhere else.
Listen,
You got a 3-pack for $12.99, whereas in obviously Burdines again. In Macy's, one is like $19.99.
I'm still lamenting that Target doesn't have their to exist sub brand.
Evolve.
Evolve.
They got rid of it.
They got rid of it.
Yeah, because now they have the Hansel and Gretel or whatever it's called.
Yeah, their brand.
Hangry Man Jack or like something.
I think you created 3 new brands just in the span of 3 seconds. As usual. Thank you.
Anyway, so it's been a total dumpster fire this week.
I'm gonna guess you might sort of be talking about that little platform with the birdie.
El pajarriaco ese.
That poor little bird. No tiene la culpa.
It's not the bird's fault.
No tiene la culpa.
It's not the bird's fault.
I think it's named Larry, I think.
Larry the tweeter bird?
Well, because he was named after Larry Bird.
Really?
Yeah, this was a question in one of our trivias.
I guess I did not ask that question.
Yeah.
So, as everybody probably knows, unless you've been under a rock, Elon Musk finally acquired Twitter. I feel that his acquisition of Twitter was longer than Dr. Zhivago's trajectory.
Man, that was a long time.
It was longer than a Russian winter. But Elon Musk finally acquired Twitter.
I love how once he finally did it, it was almost just like he woke up one day. He's like, you know what? Fine. I'm just gonna go down and give him the check.
He's already fired people.
He got rid of the top execs.
Right now, here I'm reading Elon Musk will begin laying off Twitter staff Friday. Now the whole thing of the $8 a month, is that official?
I mean, so I don't know because I've heard both sides of it. So listeners, for those of you who don't know, on Twitter, much like on Instagram and on Facebook, when you are quote unquote official, right? You're like, let's say a celebrity, you get a blue check mark, which says this is the official. It's a way for you to identify that this is the official account, etc. Now, up until now, across social media, to get that blue check mark, you have had to, I don't want to say earn it, but you had to meet certain criteria, a certain amount of followers, a certain amount of engagement, activity, blah, 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 right? Cred, essentially. Well, Elon Musk wanted to start charging $20 a month, right? Like $20 a month for having the blue check mark. And Stephen King was not having it. And basically said fuck you. And then he was like, all right, how about $8? And it was like, I love that all of a sudden this just turned into one of those.
Stephen King was the one who was bargaining this?
No. Elon Musk was. Stephen King came out and he said, I'm not paying you to have a blue check mark. You should pay me to have a blue check mark. And then Elon Musk was like, all right, how about $8? So I love that this turned into the bargaining and the market in Agrabah in Aladdin. All of a sudden it's like, I'll give you $8. And it's honestly, the funny thing is, and then he says we can't survive on advertising alone, right? As a business, which is really antithetical to everything that we know essentially about how the internet works, from streaming. I mean, Netflix is about to go finally get advertising to social media platforms, because the beauty of these things is that they are free to use, but you get the advertisers and you're exchanging your information for these advertisers, and then that's how they make their money. But for him to say we can't subsist only on advertising, it's bullshit, because you can. Now, okay, fair. You can't if you allow Twitter to ultimately become, the living embodiment of that dumpster fire meme, which is what they're afraid of right now. There are several agencies that have told all of their clients, we are pausing all of your ad dollars right now on Twitter until we see what happens.
Right.
Several agencies,
Actually,
not advertisers.
You beat me
agencies.
To the punch, because I was going to say what your take from a marketing perspective was.
The fact that the agencies are going to their clients and telling them, don't do it right now, that says a lot. And they're smart. They're smart because you don't know what's going to happen in the next. Again, because of the fact that Elon Musk has basically been setting policy as the day goes by via tweet. Right? Oh, you don't know whatever he says at 9 a.m. by the time 9 p.m. rolls around, it may be something completely different. So, yeah, I would have given them the exact same advice. Absolutely. I would have said, guys, I know it's Q4. I know it's the holidays. We need to at least pause until, let's say, end of November. And then we'll revisit it. And if we have to pull the money, we'll pull the money, and we'll just funnel it towards other social media, or we'll just do a straight up digital display ad. We'll figure out another way to bombard your message out there. But I would not go on Twitter right now because you don't know. You don't know what
As an
what
advertiser.
As an advertiser, you don't know what they're going to even allow by the end of the week,
Well, I mean, I just
based just on how he has been
I mean,
behaving
look,
so far.
I know that the thing with Elon Musk is, and I have, Elon Musk is a very polarizing character because on the one hand, you can't take away the innovation and things
True.
that he's done, but on the other hand,
Doesn't have to be a dick about it.
I don't know if this is sort of a chicken or the egg argument because he's been so successful and he's been an innovator. He kind of has a swag now that he kind of thinks that he can, do and say whatever because he's Elon Musk.
and he could.
Well, no, he could, but for many, Elon Musk has been around for many years, and for many years he wasn't controversial
True,
to this
true,
aspect,
true.
right?
True.
And in the last couple of years, he's kind of had this.
He's become
sort
very
of-
polarizing.
Yes, all these statements and all these things that he shouldn't be saying because here's the thing: if he wants Twitter to be this free speech
Right, bastion of- right.
of free speech, then as the CEO of now that company and in many aspects the spokesperson for that
face,
company, he should be a little bit apolitical of just in general. And he's become very political recently. And I'm the first person to say that when you need to be political, you need to be political and say what you mean. But that's an issue with Twitter politics, right? Specifically. And that's an issue that people go on there to just tell each other off. So I think it sends the wrong message when the head of that company now and the face of that company would clearly favor one train of thought or one ideology over another.
See, I don't even think of that element of it. I literally think of it from the perspective of why don't you go to a room somewhere, hire your staff, put out a press release. We just bought Twitter. There will be changes in policy coming, but you know what? We will issue
But
that at a
let me
later date.
ask you
because
this, 'cause
that's but as an advertiser, if I see you literally setting policy based on replies to people, and I'm like, what are you doing?
But let me ask you this, 'cause I don't know this, because you know,
it's not a safe,
in
it's not a brand
228
safe
shows,
environment.
I think people know my feelings about Twitter. Was Twitter doing badly?
I don't think Twitter was doing bad, and I plead ignorance to a degree. I wouldn't say Twitter was doing badly. What I will say is that, as we have said, being the cesspool of social media that it has become, Twitter has lost a lot of its cachet. We're literally just saying, it's become a place where people just go to bitch at each other. That's literally what Twitter has become. So there's always going to be an advertiser that's going to be a little hesitant because you don't know if you're going to be scrolling down the wall or whatever, and it's like KKK, and then you snuggle, right? Like
I blame a lot of everything about Twitter, like what the cesspool, as we say, that it's become in the last few years. I blame it a lot on different media sources or journalists that use tweets as
News stories.
sources or quotes in their articles.
Sometimes it's sometimes it's the story itself.
half of the time it is.
Yeah.
I have a really big problem with that because that's not reporting.
No, that's regurgitating.
That is going to, because I mean we're not saying anything that people don't already
We
know.
can do that.
Twitter, it is known and proven that Twitter is, and all the data shows this, is not a general consensus of the populace.
Didn't we do the math one time where it was like it's a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a
Right.
fraction?
It's not the
Yeah.
general consensus of the populace. It is certain people in certain Twitter universes, that are very loud, making certain statements. It's not the place for rationale or discourse,
Right.
of any sorts.
Not that any social platform is, but
No, but Twitter is
Twitter's next level.
specifically, next level, right? So this is where you're going to get sources, and this is where you're going to read the room about something,
right.
right? Twitter, Really? That's where you're going? And I have a really big problem with so many like news articles or just not even news articles, but these stupid little articles that come up on your phone of like these, because this person said that, Harry Styles, blah, 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 blah. And this other person, thought that what Harry Styles said was tone deaf. And this other person thought that, blah, blah. It's like you're creating a story. Mm-hmm. You are creating a story based on people's tweets.
Most of what I deem non-traversies, these things that become things but aren't really things, they start on Twitter.
Yeah.
They start on Twitter. And then to your point, some outlet grabs it and runs with it, and now it becomes a quote-unquote story.
Yeah.
Based on dos come mierda going back and forth about some
about
stupid little thing.
About whatever it is they're going back on. I don't know.
I will say, I will say this: Twitter, people are not going to pay to be on Twitter. So good luck if the eventual plan here is, and not that he has said it, but if the eventual plan is to turn this into some type of subscription service, good luck. Nobody's going to pay for it. If you're going to start charging people $8, $20, whatever, to get a blue check, good luck with that, because you're still, I would hope, have to put some type of parameters around it. Otherwise, anybody can have a blue check, and therefore you've done nothing, right? If everybody's special, then nobody's special. And if you really think that and again, if you think you can't survive with just advertisers, just wait until you do nothing about your platform and advertisers decide, I can't advertise on you anymore.
Right. Because
you're going to become a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Well, listen, I don't have any type of stake in Twitter because, as I've said, I am on Twitter. I don't really tweet that much. I've said this 100 times. I'm there because I do sort of work on politics. So I to give me a sense, I am on Twitter and I read certain things, but I have no type of like investment in Twitter like I do on Instagram, because I've been on Instagram for 5, 6, 7 years. You've been on it for like 10, right? I have friends. I have a lot of followers.
Yeah, if you evaporate from Twitter tomorrow,
I don't really care.
Cares, yeah.
But I am going to sit back and watch that dumpster fire and see how that goes.
I just feel bad for all of the people caught in the crossfire of this.
Like in terms of employees?
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah.
Because there's even talks now of like, because he has so many demanding deadlines of things that have to happen within the next 3 days or whatever, that there are people now who are essentially almost living at that office.
Right.
And it's like, people are doing it because they need the money, they need the job, but that's not sustainable. And they may be doing it this week because, okay, great, but I guarantee you that when they're taking their nap, right before they take their nap, they're sending a resume somewhere.
Right.
Because that's just not sustainable, and that is not how you can run a company. Any company, I don't care what company it is. If you have constant turnover and you constantly are burning people out, your product will erode. I don't care how much of a name brand you are, like a Twitter. Nothing is forever.
So, moving to
that's my 2 cents on the whole Twitter mishegas.
Moving to the next topic, I had a very interesting week this week.
Wait, this isn't about the concert.
Sort of.
Okay.
I was 20 feet from Demi Lovato. I tweeted about this.
You were very close.
I was 20 feet from Demi Lovato and 20 feet from President Biden within 2 days.
I mean, that's a lot of feet.
Yeah. So listeners, on a few days ago, I finally went to see Demi Lovato in concert, and she was fantastic. And I could say she because she refers to her pronouns or they, them, but they're also she and her again. So don't come at me.
She's basically open to any pronoun.
Well, no, she's not open to any pronoun. She's opening today, and
I'm sure if you catch her on a good day, she'll be like, you know what? Who cares?
Well, that's true.
We're all people.
She sounds phenomenal live.
Really?
Like incredible.
I saw the videos you posted.
I mean, incredible live. But what I was actually really interested about her concert was, there had been some jokes that I was going to be the oldest person there.
And not just the oldest person there. You were like row, 5?
I was fourth row.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm Yeah, but I think that we decided that it would have been creepier if I would have been in the back.
That is true.
Yeah, than in the
That
front.
is true. Yeah.
Right? And I was like, oh my God, maybe I am going to be the oldest person there. First of all, Demi Lovato's already 30. So Demi Lovato's, we're not the only one that age.
That's true.
Right?
And we're not that much older than her.
Right? So let's say that
Right.
Demi Lovato has a fan that is 5 years older than her. That means that they're in their mid 30s now.
Right.
Right? And we're in our early 40s.
So
It's
one of those things just because when she came out, we were, let's say she was 10, we were 20. Right? So at that point in time, it was like the age difference was kind of wonky.
It's not
Now
like I'm
it doesn't
going to
matter.
go watch Disney on Ice without a kid. Right? I'm going to go watch Disney on Ice because I really like ice skating.
You love those Kenneth Feld productions.
I guess if you really like ice skating, you could
I guess
go
you
watch
could.
Disney
Yeah,
on
that's
Ice.
true.
I took my grandmother to go watch Disney on Ice one
We used to
year.
go with my grandparents.
Yeah. Anyway, but what I thought was really interesting was the demographic of her concert was like,
Yes.
Sitting next to me was a couple that was probably in their mid to late 50s. And it
Wow.
was their wedding anniversary present to each other to go see Demi Lovato. And I was like, I feel so good.
Did you ask them like how they became what are her fans called again?
Lovatics.
Lovotics.
I didn't ask, but I figured that if they both in their 50s went to go see Demi Lovato and they were in the fourth row, it's because they're not casual fans.
Right, right,
They're real
right.
fans. Behind me was like también, probably maybe late 40s, early 50. You could tell they were a Latin couple.
Miami.
Then, of course, there was like a lot of little goth kids. When I mean kids, I mean probably early
20s.
20s. There were, people, you could tell in their 30s. There were a lot of adult parents with their younger children, and it's not younger children that grew up on Demi Lovato.
Like 10-year-olds.
Like tweens.
Okay.
Right? So these aren't Camp Rock kids.
Right. Sonny with the Chance.
So
right.
I'm like, I love this. It was a very, very, very eclectic crowd.
Do you think though it has something to do with where you sat? Because I totally got a flashback to like Truth or Dare, where Madonna was like, in the front, it's all industry. Do you think it's because obviously floor seats are not cheap, and so you have to have a certain degree of disposable income?
No, because I made that observation actually when I was in line buying my T-shirt.
Oh, okay.
I hadn't even gone to my seats
Okay,
yet.
okay.
Right? So, and just in the arena, like,
Okay,
there
so it
were a lot
wasn't-
of people of different demographics.
It wasn't just where you were sitting.
And I thought it was very interesting because I would have thought that of course, there's always going to be a little bit of everything in a concert, but I thought that she would have a general demographic, right?
Like 25 to 30-year-old.
25 to like 35.
Right.
People that
Grew up.
with her.
Right.
But no, like that was not the majority. There was a nice mix. But great concert. I sort of love that she's resurrected since she's doing a more rock edge now. Well, she went back to rock because her
Yeah.
first few albums were rock albums.
Rock tinge, yeah.
She resurrected Lala by Ashley Simpson. That I've always
Did she
loved
do
that
it?
song. She did do it.
So she did 2 covers.
She did that one and Iris by Goo Goo Dolls. But Iris by Goo Goo Dolls, I mean, that song was a huge hit.
True,
so I
true.
could see how any singer could redo that song.
Right.
But Lala by
Ashley
Ashley Simpson was not.
That's very niche.
But that song, that's a great song.
it's a fun song.
Like that's a really good song. It has like a really hard guitar edge. So I thought it was great that she sort of did a medley with her song La La Land.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was like, mira pa allá, Demi doing Ashley. Pero, and then, so that was one day, and then less than 48 hours later, I'm in front of me is Joe Biden.
Yes, listeners, this is the only podcast where both hosts have been in front of President Joe Biden.
I mean, I have to tell you, I was more excited about Demi.
Well, I mean, I don't think Joe Biden was going to do a cover of La La.
That would have been great. Or maybe, you know what, he could have definitely done a cover to and been like made it all political to like Republicans. He could have been like, baby, I'm sorry, I'm not sorry.
I don't know why I thought of Carole King.
Actually, so the reason I bring up the Joe Biden
Yes.
thing is because I went to a rally, a blue rally, earlier this week, and I was standing for 4.5 hours.
Oy.
Yes. And I was with a friend who was in heels.
Is that how long the rally was, or just because you had to get there a certain time?
No, that's how long the rally was. The rally, I was there actually even before.
That's what I'm saying. Right. Oh, okay.
It was even longer than that. And shout out to my friends different organizer friends of mine that were organizing this event that gave me VIP parking because I parked literally right next to the arena. It was
at the AAA?
No, it was at Florida Memorial University. It's actually an HBCU in
where is that?
That is in Miami Gardens.
Oh, I did not know. Mira.
Yeah, it's a great school, and they were actually, you had to park off-site, and you had to take a bus there. But since I know a lot of people in the political organizing world, I walked.
So your time on Twitter paid off.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, this is from work. That
No.
I'm done. But anyway, so they had a bunch of celebrities there. Let me tell you something. I posted it on my Instagram. One of the people to pep up the crowd was Jennifer Lewis.
I mean,
Jennifer Lewis is a national treasure.
She is.
I mean, I said that. I mean,
the mother of Black Hollywood. Yes, she is.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, she came in there. She's like, I'm going to tell all of you off. Like, those were her words.
I believe it.
I'm going to tell all of you off. All of you sitting here being off because it was at a college. Right. So a large amount of people were college students.
Correct.
All of you here sitting complacent, bitching on social media, and you're not getting out to vote. I'm going to tell you off. Like, who do you think you are? Like, we had to fight for our rights, and now you're just like, I was like, look at her. She was amazing. And it's funny because she came out at the end, right before the president. Okay. So yeah, I was like, oh my God.
They needed somebody to pep it up.
I was like, oh my God. I was like, after that, I was like, yeah.
They needed somebody to pep it up.
Run for office. Like,
she should.
She's great, though. That I feel that
wonderful.
She's one of these people that she's been in a ton of things. She's one of these people that I don't think she gets the flowers that she deserves.
She's always been around, and I don't think until Blackish really is when the general population was exposed to the majesty that is Jennifer.
I feel that she's due for a Cheryl Lee Ralph moment.
I'm here for it.
You know how Cheryl Lee Ralph now is like, that she's a model now?
She's the new it girl.
She's a model now for Savage.
By Fenty?
For Fenty, yeah.
With Johnny Depp? Johnny Depp's going to be in the Savage Fenty runway
show.
So
you haven't seen her?
No.
You haven't seen her? Oh, no, I got to show you so I can see her reaction live on air. Cheryl Lee Ralph, it's great. Cheryl, listeners, if you haven't seen it, so it's Cheryl Lee Ralph, Lee Ralph, Savage Fenty.
Yeah, it's one of those people who it's funny because we were last week, I think it was last week, I gave my last soda to Leslie Jordan, and I feel like your Leslie Jordans, your Jennifer Lewis, your Shirley Ralphs, like these are all people who've been doing this forever and ever and ever, and they get their flowers, as you say, later in life.
Yeah. Where is this thing?
Yeah, but it's not coming up at all. Oh, hello, Miss Shirley Ralph.
She looks great. Like, great.
She is wonderful. Jennifer Lewis is wonderful.
So, I mean, it was awesome. And, everybody, if you're listening to this on a Friday, make sure you go out and vote.
That's right. Tuesday is election day.
I don't want to hear people bitching and
November
complaining
8th.
If things didn't go the way they wanted.
I always say, like, at the end of the day, I don't care how, I do, but I don't, right? I don't care how you vote, just go out and vote. Because if you're, like you were saying, if you're going to bitch and moan about something, and then I ask you, who did you vote for, or did you vote, or whatever, and you're like, no, I don't vote, or I couldn't be bothered, then I'm like, okay, I don't want to hear.
Right.
I don't want to hear jack shit from you. Like, just...
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Everybody knows the holidays can be a time of great joy and togetherness with the food, parties, and family. But they can also be a time that causes us to feel anxiety, stress, or even depression. And let's face it, having your tia tell you que cambies la cara during dinner doesn't exactly help. What you need, and maybe your tia también, is a gift to yourself. The ability to speak with a professional about your experiences. Enter BetterHelp. A customized online therapy provider, BetterHelp offers therapy options that align with your time, via phone, video, text, or even live chat sessions with a certified therapist. BetterHelp's customized approach matches you with a therapist in under 48 hours based on your needs and creating the opportunity to help you better understand yourself. And as a special offer for Pero Let Me Tell You listeners, you can get 10% off your first month of professional therapy at betterhelp.com/pero. It's already more affordable than in-person therapy, and now you can save on your first month. There's even a gifting option if you'd like to help someone you care about understand the benefits of therapy in their life. We should all have a happy holiday season, and BetterHelp has helped millions take the first step in that path. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/pero. Thanks again to BetterHelp for sponsoring this podcast and this episode. So I wanted to bring up something that I saw earlier this week that sort of went viral. And it goes to a larger subject that we've talked about here before. Mm-hmm. There was a video, I don't know where it went viral, if it was Twitter or Instagram or whatever, of a barista at Starbucks.
If it was a barista, it's probably TikTok.
I think maybe it was TikTok, in the back room, and he was crying and like really upset because I think he had to work like 8 hours, and his manager was calling out sick, so he didn't have to work on the weekends, and he was scheduled to work some days of the weekend, so on and so forth. And he was like very upset. He's like, this is why we need to be unionized, and I shouldn't be put through this, and so on and so forth. So I tried to see it from both angles, because I think that the sort of reactionary comment would be like, toughen up, like, you're working 8 hours at Starbucks, it's air conditioned,
right,
whatever. Right. But then I also thought, you know what? Working on your feet for 8 hours is hard. Starbucks can become very busy and very demanding, and you know how people can be. I'm sure that in one day working a full shift at Starbucks, you get a lot of Karens.
Right.
Well, you're dealing with people. You're probably dealing with a lot of really nice people, but you're also dealing with very difficult people. It could be one order after another order after another order. So I don't dismiss that just because you're a barista or just because you're working at our Starbucks, that it's easy work. I wanted to see both sides of it. I don't think if I would have been in that situation, I would have gone and literally cried on TikTok.
Right.
Because I that's not the way I would have addressed that. But it goes to the, obviously the larger conversation.
This is kind of what we were about the whole Gen Z thing.
Right, of the Gen Z thing. I mean, this was a very young person. I mean, they're probably in their early 20s. It goes to that larger conversation of like, are they lazy? Are they entitled? All that. So what do you think about that?
So first thing I'll address, based on what you were saying, is if it is true that the manager is constantly just calling out on the weekends so they don't have to work, that sucks. That manager needs to be fired. That just needs to stop, because like that's not right. You're a manager. Nobody wants to work a weekend, but you know what? You're the manager. Sometimes tienes que meter. Okay. Now, on the flip side, as somebody who worked at a supermarket for several holiday seasons on his feet for 8 hours a day, I'm not going to feel sorry for you.
Right.
I'm not going to feel sorry for you working 8 hours. Oh, no, boo-hoo-hoo, I had to work 8 hours. You know what? Now, if you are always constantly showing up for your 4-hour shift and they're constantly telling you, Fulano called out today, you have to cover for them, that's a different story, because that's not fair to you.
Right.
But do you want me to feel bad for you because you're working an 8-hour shift? Yeah, I'm sorry. Look, I'm playing the world's smallest violin. I'm not.
I try to be,
because I did it.
I try to be sympathetic of this. When I saw the video, I was,
and like, I guarantee you, I covered more ground doing go backs than that kid
when
does
I was watching
back and
the
forth
video,
on the counter.
I was like, kid, like you're working at Starbucks. I mean,
no, una factoría.
Yes, I mean there's so many
it could be
worse jobs. Right. So many worse jobs. I mean. And you don't even have to go like, because I always think, oh my God, one of the worst jobs must be poniendo chapapote en un techo in the middle of summer in Miami. Putting tar on a roof, being a roofer.
In Miami in July.
Oh my God. That, or like, I've told you this, I think the worst job in the world must be working at the lost luggage department of an airline.
Nobody ever goes there to tell you good job.
People are ready to murder you.
Right. Right. You could work there 1 hour or
Karen
8 hours.
just got to Hawaii and her luau dress did not make it. She is ready to go with an axe and murder you.
Yeah, you
right?
might become her lady.
So even though it's a comfortable job insofar that you're sitting down in an air conditioned room in front
And
of
it's
a
a
computer,
generally pleasant.
There's a psychological horror to it, right? But I in this particular case I tried to be considerate and see, okay, I could see how being 8 hours, like taking one order after another, how you need a break.
Okay,
and
fair.
here's the thing, because people are
Did he not get breaks?
it was, I'm not sure if he got breaks, but the whole what this turned into was like, oh, Gen Z bitching and complaining.
I mean, I don't.
Right, but here's where I would sort of counter that in a way. Okay, so people are very quick now to say that Gen Z is entitled and complains, blah, blah, blah. But don't you also think it's because Gen Z, unlike even us that were older millennials or what's the one before us?
Gen X.
Gen X.
Yeah, we're Zillennials
Right,
or whatever.
or Gen X. One of the reasons why people say this about them is because they have something like TikTok and we didn't have a form of communicating like they do. Because I would
there's
like
some
to
truth
think
there,
that
probably.
if we had these social media tools, you would have then had, 10 years ago or whatever amount of time ago, you would have had people in our age group or our generation complaining about very similar things.
Okay, I think there's a validity to that, but I still think that I would have been like, suck it up. I mean,
look, I think it's like everything. I think there's people.
Again, I would like to know more in this specific case. I would like to know more about the details, just because you mentioned without and maybe they did without a break or the manager calling out. Like, I want to know the details.
The kid was like,
because anybody can have a shitty day and be
frustrated. The
frustrated.
back room and he was crying. He's like, "This is why we need to unionize because we've been 8 hours and there's just so much, and our manager and we're expected to work weekends." And I'm like, yeah, when you're young and you're in high school and college, most of the time you do have to work weekends.
Also, if you're working at a Starbucks, they're open on weekends. Somebody has
to work.
Somebody has to work the weekend.
But everybody has had to work weekends at one point or another, and it sucks. It's not nobody wants to.
We're in our 40s and we work weekends.
Yeah, nobody wants to do it, but you have to suck it up. So there's a part of me that's kind of like, Buttercup, suck it up.
Right.
But then I also think there's more. People are very quick to dismiss certain jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Like even working at McDonald's, because you know what, the people that give you your order at McDonald's in the drive-thru especially are not the people who packed it up.
Right, they're just
And
handing it off.
they get the wrath of the person on the other end.
This is true.
You didn't get my cheeseburger. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
This is not what I ordered. I ordered my Frappuccino without whipped cream. I ordered my my Big Mac without pickles.
Again, as someone who worked the register at a supermarket on holidays and all of that, and had to deal with people like, no, pero eso dice que es $2, no $3.
I think
You
it's
know
like
what?
everything else. I think that
You're gonna have a shitty day,
I think
and
people
and it's
look,
gonna suck.
Let's not forget, people are giving Gen Z a lot of shit now. Let's not forget that some years ago, people were giving shit to millennials.
Oh yeah.
That everything was about millennials.
Every generation,
Right.
every generation
and
gets
I
its
even remember
bullshit.
when we were in high school in the 90s and all that. I even remember people giving like Gen
X?
shit that they were lazy as well.
Yeah.
The Reality Bites
Yeah.
generation, that they were lazy and they were so stuck up and they
Cynical
and whatever. So every generation gets their
shit,
Their
yeah.
shit. I just think that the difference is that Gen Z, because they have social media and they're more vocal on it on social media, they get a certain amount of criticism and pushback that we did not get when we were younger because those tools did not exist.
I think there's also something to be said for, and I might get some shit for this. The fact that we're talking about this means that this person went on a venting. Let's not call it a rant. They vented. The same way any of us probably, maybe not via social media, but would pick up a phone and call, a husband, a wife, a partner, and be like, oh my God, my boss, and they suck, and right? But then we have now given that person's venting a degree of importance by pulling it and using it as a news story, like to tie it back to the Twitter thing, right? Why?
Right, but I think that's a bigger conversation, a bigger topic in terms of where we are now.
Right.
Society,
But I'm saying
in
it
terms
kind of feeds itself.
Right, in terms of social media.
It feeds itself.
This goes back to the comment I made about Twitter the other
Right.
day. Right?
Right.
Because bitching and complaining has always existed.
Yeah.
And people yelling at each other has always existed.
Right.
It's just that you now have platforms.
And now it becomes news.
Right. And now it becomes news.
Now this kid crying in the back of a
and
Starbucks
now,
has
because
become a story.
we live in such a polarized world about everything, in relation to this story, you have your people are like, oh, I'm very sympathetic of you, I'm so sorry, you should unionize, mental health, blah blah blah, working at Starbucks is hard, and then toughen up, you
Yeah.
lazy kid,
Right.
There's no in between,
Right.
and there usually is an in between. There's a lot of gray.
What is it? There's 3 sides to every story, and
Yours, mine, and the truth.
And the truth, yeah.
There's a lot of gray stuff, people. There's a lot
And
of
it's
gray.
not always delicious.
No, it is delicious. That's why you should try the gray stuff. That is why I want to eat at the Be Our Guest restaurant.
I have no
in
doubt.
the Magic Kingdom, because when they bring me the gray stuff, I mean, listeners, have you been to the in the Magic Kingdom here in Florida? Have you been to the Be Our Guest restaurant? They're at the end for dessert. They have the gray stuff,
And it's delicious.
like I just want to.
it's like a mousse, right?
Yes, I need for them to bring me and be like, try the gray stuff. It's
For you
delicious.
and for you to be like, it's delicious.
Yes, like I have to do that. Like I have
That's
to
the
do
only
that.
reason to order it, really, at the end of the day.
Yes. I really want to eat at the Be Our Guest restaurant. Like,
If anybody can make that happen.
because, I bitched and complained. I bitched and complained about this. The fact that I've been going to Disney World for, like 40 years now, and I've never eaten at the stupid Crystal Palace, which at this point in time, I don't even want to eat it in anymore because everybody says it sucks. But I
it's the
want
principle of-
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
going to eat at the Crystal Palace, even if I have a turkey sandwich.
How far in advance do you have to book that damn thing?
I don't know, but everything at Disney now. Remember
That's
the days
true.
when we would just listeners. I mean, if you're of a certain age, that going to Disney World was like, we're going to Disney World this weekend.
Like on a Monday, you decided
Like
to
when
leave on
we
Friday.
were in college, literally on
Yep.
Fridays, I would start calling everybody. I'm like, are we doing something this weekend? No, let's go to Disney World, and we would
we'd go to a
literally
Motel
at
6.
like midnight pack an SUV, and we'd get to Kissimmee at like, I don't know,
2 in the morning?
3 in the morning. We wouldn't even reserve the Motel 6. The Motel 6 always had.
It was
vacancies.
always there. It was
We would
always there.
sleep at the Motel 6 and go to Disney.
Yeah.
Right? Those days are long gone.
It's funny, Jose was like, for my birthday in January, I want to go to Disney. And I'm like, well, we need to start planning it now.
Right? Right. Now it's like a fully planned like
It takes
vacation.
less effort to plan a cruise
Oh, it does for sure.
than a Disney vacation now.
For sure. For sure. Because in a cruise, you have your you
show
know where
up.
you're sleeping and where you're eating.
You show up. That's it.
right?
Yeah.
You know where you're sleeping and where you're eating and where you're going.
Yeah. Yeah, the ship is going to take you where it's going to take
Yes.
you. You don't have a say.
Right. You have your room
Right.
and they have 100 restaurants.
So that's it.
So
And you get the little activity sheet. Right.
Right.
Or the app now.
Whereas in Disney, it's like now, what park are you going and what day, and the rates, can vary.
Fluctuate, yeah.
What hotel are you staying in? And the hotels are generally all booked now. La economía está bien mala, but everybody's
everybody's
going
in
to Disney
Disney.
World.
Those are the things that I say.
Yeah.
I'm like, la inflation.
inflation.
La gasolina está carísima, right? Pero todo el mundo está metido en Disney, en Cayo Hueso.
No, see,
todo.
Disney has had like record attendance. Those are the things that I don't understand. Like, people are bitching and complaining about gas prices and the economy
Rightfully
and
so.
inflation. Rightfully so. But they're
going to Disney, which is not cheap.
Yeah, no. It's become extremely unaffordable.
Yeah.
The days of the $50 entrance are gone
Listen, the minute that they started doing a layaway plan, yeah, that was it.
for Disney.
Yeah.
No.
That was it. You knew que ya.
Buy now, park later.
Yeah.
You know that when I think about going to like the Epcot Center, which I've told you, like I always go back and forth about like what is my favorite Disney park. Like I cannot pick the Magic Kingdom,
Just
right?
by virtue of being Magic Kingdom.
Because it's the Magic Kingdom. It's like, how can it not be the Magic Kingdom? But this is like a very Rachel from Friends moment. Like my favorite
favorite
movie
is
was Dangerous
Dangerous
Liaisons,
Liaisons, but it's Weekend at
it was
Bernie's.
Weekend at Bernie's, right? So my favorite theme park is
Magic
the Magic
Kingdom.
Kingdom, but really it's Epcot.
Well, but that's on brand for you.
Yeah,
Actually, Epcot is more on brand for you than Magic Kingdom.
yeah. I love Epcot. I absolutely love Epcot. And you know what I do?
And if you told me it was Animal Kingdom, I wouldn't know who the hell you are.
Yeah, no, it's not Animal Kingdom. I still go to Animal Kingdom and think like there's something missing in this park. Aquí falta algo. This is not worth the $100-some admission.
Expensive.
That's why I don't go that much. I've only been to an Animal Kingdom like a handful of times because
The
unless
day
I
that
have
we
a,
did all 4 parks in one day.
unless I have a park hopper, I'm like I'm
Yeah.
not gonna go specifically
Animal
pay
Kingdom.
$100-some to go to Animal Kingdom.
No, pero un zoológico, para eso voy a Metro Zoo.
No, y mira, what I've done in Animal Kingdom I've liked because I think their safari is like kick ass. But anyway, when I think of Epcot Center, I always think about Coke when they had Coke World because they got rid of that.
yeah.
That we would try the Beverly. Listeners, have you tried the Beverly?
Don't do it.
Tell them what the Beverly is.
It's earwax. Don't do it.
Tell them what it is.
All right, the Beverly, which you can actually still try when you go to the Coke World
In Atlanta.
and actually the one in Disney Springs.
Okay,
And that Coke
but they have the Beverly there.
thing. I'm trying to remember, but I'm pretty sure they do because they have a tasting station.
I feel it's like a thing now.
Yeah, they have a tasting station. So, you go to the Coke World tasting station and you can have, carbonated beverages that are unique to certain countries. So, from Mexico and Italy or whatever. There's this one called the Beverly.
It's from Italy.
It's from Italy. I don't. You know what shocks me the most about the taste of the Beverly, especially because it's from Italy, that there are so many delicious things in Italy.
You would have thought it would have been like a limoncello flavor.
Right. There's so many delicious things from Italy, and this thing tastes like rancid earwax.
It does taste like earwax. It really, really does.
Don't ask us how we know what earwax tastes
Carbonated
like.
earwax.
Right. Yeah, because you don't want flat earwax.
Yeah. Can you imagine what that tastes like flat? But you know the thing. You know the wonderful thing about the Beverly.
We always try
We
it.
always try it.
Just to make sure it's still as awful
Yes.
as we remember.
And we always try it, and I'm like, this is disgusting. Let me have a cup.
And we always get and we have to do it like twice.
right,
Just to make
And
sure.
then- right. It's like this is the most disgusting thing I'm gonna have. Can I have it twice? And then I have it, and then it's like that was gross. Can I have it
Yeah.
again?
It's like when people say like, "Oh my god, this smells horrible." It's like, "It does it? Let me smell." Like, why? I just told you it smells horrible. But
Yeah.
no, we do. We gotta
I think
confirm
there's
it.
certain. I think that's its charm.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but can you imagine drinking like a whole Beverly like?
Ay,
can?
no asco. No.
Listeners, if you ever go to like
That's why
a
people in
Coke
Italy
World,
drink wine.
I'm telling you, go try the Beverly. You will thank us. If you've tried the Beverly,
You can relate.
drop a
us a line.
comment a line. So this will be a little thing that you post on our
Yes, we'll-
on
we'll
our
po-
thing.
we'll post
yes,
about the
drop us
Beverly.
a line if you've tried the Beverly.
Beverly.
Maybe it tastes better in Italy.
Maybe it doesn't travel well. When it crosses the international date line, maybe
Right,
something
because
happens.
soft drinks like fountain drinks are mixed with water. Maybe it doesn't fix with chlorinated Orlando water. Because let's say the truth, Orlando water
It's well
sucks.
water, yeah.
It's disgusting.
Maybe it has to be like water from Venice.
You know that when I go to Orlando, I become very water bougie. I'm like, Miami water is like the shit.
You always, every time you shower, it always has a hard film on your skin
and it's
afterwards.
gross.
And it's well water.
Yeah,
That's why.
that's what I'm very. I'm not bougie about a lot of things, but I am bougie about water.
You are.
Avion, sorry.
I don't dislike Avion. The one I cannot do is Dasani.
Wait, no. Oh, that's what. No.
Oh.
But wait. Hold on.
I'm sorry. I know it's cost us a sponsorship.
Stop.
I don't know.
Stop. No. We're talking about bougie water, right? An equivalent to Avion would have been like Fiji.
Okay, fine. Voss.
Voss, right? Because we always want that really nice glass.
It's true.
I
I remember when Voss was new.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I ever saw a Voss bottle.
have it in my fridge.
I remember the first time. It was at a gas station.
And I mean, those are the equivalents. And of course, your garden variety is like Zephyr Hills,
Right.
or something like that. Like one of our friends says, if I'm in the desert dying of thirst, I think I will think twice before having Dasani or Aquafina.
I'd have Aquafina before Dasani.
Why are they so gross? It's water.
That's just one of the mysteries of life.
Like,
Maybe they're processed at the Beverly plant.
Okay, do they know this? I think they know this because I feel that people are
very vocal.
about Dasani
Yeah.
and Aquafina.
Yeah. They are not like they are more vocal than that's what Twitter should be.
Yeah, I feel that at this point in time, it's like a thing.
They just don't care.
And you know what's the worst? Dasani, like room temperature Dasani.
Ay, gross. No.
Because at least the
it's like
water,
baba.
at least a really cold Dasani, because it's cold, it does,
te quita la
has a
mente, yeah.
chilling effect on your
Right.
taste buds, right?
Oh no. No.
Yeah.
Full. No.
Is there anybody out there that likes Aquafina and Dasani? Like, really?
The only Aquafina.
One is by Pepsi and Coke, right?
Dasani, I believe, is Coke, and Aquafina might be Pepsi, but I'm not sure. But Dasani's Coke.
El agua de pozo es mejor que eso.
Well, let's not go crazy. Let's not go crazy because you just said that you don't open your mouth while showering in Orlando.
Yeah, but that's coming out of a tap.
Well, that's agua de pozo.
Right. Whereas the Dasani and Aquafina, you have to pay for.
Oh, okay.
No, you know what I love? When you're thirsty AF and you go to a vending machine and it's like 10 buttons of Aquafina. And it's like, are you kidding me? Like,
Again,
is this a
I
joke?
prefer Aquafina to Dasani.
Listen, I know that these are first world problems.
But there are problems. All right? There was a kid crying about working 8 hours. We're going to bitch about Dasani and Aquafina. All right?
Which one does McDonald's sell? I think it's Dasani.
Well, because it's a Coke product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That when it's like, I'll have a water. It's like, no, Chico.
No. Get from the fountain.
I'll press the
Yes,
little water
yes,
button
yes.
from the fountain that's always freezing cold.
It's so cold and refreshing.
Yes. I sometimes use it to wash my hands. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'll press the button and get my hands wet and be like, oh, it's cold. Because I have a thing with cold.
Yes.
I like everything cold.
Really? Yes.
Yes.
Hadn't noticed.
Yeah.
As I'm sitting here like with a tarp over me because I'm half naked.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like some people put ice in their drinks. I put drink on my ice.
Yes. Oh my god, that is exactly how it should be.
Por eso yo paso tanto trabajo when I go to Europe. Because when you go to Europe, as probably a lot of you listeners knows, Europeans don't believe in ice.
They put it in
their
the
drink,
fridge and that's it.
right? They bring you your drink, especially a soft drink, mildly
Refrigerated,
chilled.
right.
Not even refrigerated.
But I'm saying, estaba en la nevera.
not even
at most.
It's mildly chilled, like a few degrees over room temperature, right? So then here comes the American, right? Asking for ice. Je voudrais le glacé avec ma boisson, s'il vous plaît.
The fact you think any American has ever said that in French is such
Well,
a...
no, but I specifically say it in French.
Okay,
The times I've been
because
in
you said
France.
here comes the American, and I'm like, it's cute you think the American's going to have that much consideration.
No. I have it down packed in French. I mean, I speak some French, but it's like, je voudrais le glacé avec mes boissons, s'il vous plaît. Right? I want ice with my drink, please. So then, after the European, it's like, oh,
The eye roll.
here's the American wanting ice. They bring you their tall, skinny glasses, because that's what they have over there,
Right.
with like one piece of ice. Maybe two on a good day. And it's like, what am I supposed to do with two pieces of... And then I don't want to be like, no, I want more. So then
Right.
I'm like, me tengo que meter the room temperature Coke with two pieces of ice that melt right away. So then my drink is not cold and I can't chew on the ice. What a conundrum.
They don't have that trouble in Switzerland.
No, but it's true.
I'm sure our friend in Norway right now isn't having that problem with
But it's true.
refrigerated
I mean,
beverages.
I'm sorry. I love the culture and I love...
You're not the quote-unquote ugly American
I
when
am
you travel.
I am
You're not.
But that
You're
is
not.
like the one thing that I become the ugly American with. Because I like my drinks like, como dice, what's better than cold?
ice cold. Yeah, what's cooler than being cool?
I
Ice
no hay
cold.
nada más rico than a crisp Coca-Cola con bastante hielo.
That's
You
true.
know, with a lot of like hospital ice
Which
from the
is
fountain.
funny because
Mira.
because it's funny because from a branding perspective, the Coca-Cola does tell all of their distributors and all the people who sell like the ideal temperature for a Coke and all this. So it's funny that they just like whatever with you.
There's nothing better than Coke with hospital ice in a large styrofoam cup. Because there's something about the styrofoam with hospital ice and Coke that when it's together,
We're
it's
sorry,
magic.
Louis Aguirre.
I know.
Don't hate us.
I'm sorry, Louis.
For the record, it was Darian, not me. We can still be
Listen,
friends.
I'm all about green policies. I drive a Tesla.
We're-
But there's something about the styrofoam cup.
We can still be friends, Louis. That's all I'm saying.
It's one of those things that it's more than the sum of its parts. I don't know if like maybe the styrofoam does a certain type of whatever on the
Well, I mean,
insulation.
it retains temperature. That was the whole reason styrofoam exists.
That's like I feel that a Coke, a can of a soft drink de una nevera tastes the best when it's
Oh,
been
yeah.
lingering in una nevera. You know, nevera sounds so much better in Spanish.
Yeah, not in a cooler. Like a cooler. Sounds like I'm from Minnesota.
Bring in the cooler.
The cooler.
No, chico, yo traje la nevera.
La nevera. Because it's like nevera, nieve, snow, right? Like it's gotta be cold in order for it to snow.
Oye,
So it's
especially
la
in the last few
nevera.
months when we've done our pop-ups for Pimpan Pollo and whenever we sell soft drinks, that it's been like a long day. I've been frying,
Yeah.
and I pull
It's
out
so
like
refreshing.
a Coke, like a nice Coke.
So refreshing.
Let me ask you something. I mean, maybe it's not the best thing for marketing, but
Why stop now?
do you prefer Coke or Pepsi?
So I grew up in a Pepsi household.
Okay.
So I
For those who
have.
think young.
So I like Pepsi. I actually, when it comes to the diet drinks, I prefer Diet Pepsi
yeah.
over Diet Coke because there's less of an aftertaste. But as you know, my favorite soft drink is Cherry Coke.
Okay.
So I kind of straddle both sides depending on the beverage.
So
I know Seth is going
I-
to have our heads for this.
love Pepsi.
Yeah.
Pepsi's my favorite, but I like the branding of Coke more
Well, yes,
because there's something about the branding of
well,
Coke.
it has the iconography.
Yes.
From a marketing perspective, yeah.
that it's like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Coke.
It's been around
You're
longer.
having a
too.
Coca-Cola, but I like Pepsi more. I mean, I love Coke. Like,
Yeah, we'll take either one.
it's not like I'm having Coke and I'm like, ugh.
Right.
It's not like I'm having a
It's not a
Aquafina
Beverly.
or Dasani, you know?
not a Beverly.
It's not like, oh, they don't have because some people, like we know people
Yes.
that are like, ugh, you only have Pepsi, and it's like, I.
Just drink it.
Drink it. No.
Just drink. It's listen, either way, it's not good for you.
But I like Coke. That's like the other day, not too long ago. Like I went on this Sprite phase. I'm like, I really want Sprite.
I used to love Sprite, but that's because at my grandparents' house they always had Sprite. So like that was
Okay, so let me ask you, Crest or Colgate?
Colgate. Not only have I always been a Colgate household, I even did the advertising for Colgate at the beginning of my career.
Right. So when I was a kid, screw Crest or Colgate. I wanted
Aquafresh.
Aquafresh because
Right.
of the little colors.
Because it came out in the 3.
yes.
Well, let me tell you, my grandparents always had Aquafresh, and I could never get it to look like that.
No, none of us
No.
did. The little swoop.
No.
No.
It was always disappointing.
Listeners, were you able to do the swoop?
I know, I got sad because I'm just,
Yeah.
I remember like squeezing it out of the tube and being like,
You know what? That's
"Eh."
how Americanos put their pasta de diente. Because I feel
They have that much
they do
flair.
the little swoop. We're just happy. Lads are just happy to have toothpaste in general.
That's true. And by the time that tube is almost done, we are squeezing
Oh
it
my
like with our
god, my
foot.
mom used to cut the tube
Really?
to like scoop out that
Oh wow. Okay, that's
Yeah.
next level.
Yeah. Oh, well, yes.
Wow.
Yes. But no, I always wanted the Aquafresh little swoop.
Oh,
7-Up or Sprite?
Sprite, but again, because it was
I
because it was always on my
7-Up.
I loved Cherry 7-Up, but Sprite because it was always at my grandparents' house, and so I spent a lot of time at my grandparents' house. So that was
You know what I realized? That I wasn't ethnically white.
Nochebuena.
Well, yes. But when I really, really realized, no, I'm not white. When I just was like, I don't like A&W root beer. I'm sorry, I don't.
I don't get
I
root
don't.
beer.
I don't.
I've tried.
When I lived in the Midwest, I went to an A&W.
Yeah.
I had it in the cold mug.
With
you know,
with the ice cream and
I
the
had
float,
the
everything.
works. And I'm like, I'm going to make myself like root beer because like it's root beer. It's like cream soda. How it has the word cream in it.
Don't care for it.
And I'm like, well, I don't like it.
I don't
I'm
care for
sorry. I think it's kind of gross.
I don't get it.
It's like I'm not white.
Yeah, that is like a marker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would see my friends being so excited. Oh my god, you have A&W? I'm like, no,
we're
tengo
good.
Coca-Cola. And you're lucky I don't have a Mateba.
Yeah,
It's
or-
like, okay, seriously. Not because we're biased or anything. We're not biased.
I mean, and so what if we are? It's our show.
Mateba is so, I mean, if we're going to talk about ethnic drinks, a Mateba is so much better than an A&W root beer.
Fuck yeah. Mateba, Irombel, Jupiña, pick one.
Jupiña,
I mean, pick any of
you
them.
wanted to, I mean, I said a little while ago that Jennifer Lewis is a national treasure, which she is. But Jupiña, let's just say it. Jupiña is a national treasure.
We should
I mean,
give Jennifer Lewis a Jupiña.
yes. I mean, are there any other pineapple drinks? Carbonated pineapple drinks?
Maybe, and I say this with a big asterisk because I don't know all the flavors of Fanta.
Okay, but that's Fanta.
Right, but I'm saying maybe there's a pineapple Fanta,
Because,
but Jupiña's OG.
yes.
Right.
Yeah, Jupiña.
Right. Ay, qué rico, no, I won't.
Jupiña is so freaking good. I'm not even like a pineapple lover. Kawi Bottling
Yes,
Brewery,
Kawi, yes.
if you're listening.
If you're listening,
They also do it on bed, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Si maneje, no toma.
¿Y si
no
toma?
tome. No. It's si maneje, no tome. Y si tome, tome materba. Es deliciosa y estomacal. I guess the tomagada is good for your digestive system.
Well, yeah, you know, if you're gonna drink something, you want it to be
Right.
digestible.
But really, it's so much better. It
Yeah.
really is so much better.
It really is.
A&W root beer.
Yeah, Kyle, we'll take the sponsorship, but if you just want to send us a case.
It's like, you know what else I can do that's like really white? I'm sorry, I can't. I can't do licorice.
Oh, ew. You know what I tried?
I see all these people excited about licorice.
I tried,
rope, and I'm like,
okay, I wanted to like licorice so much
Mm-hmm.
that I even tried that thing where you use it as a straw.
no.
Because I figured if it tastes like the soda,
Right.
maybe I'll enjoy it. No,
Right.
no.
Ugh.
It just made it worse.
Eso tiene sabor a rayo. What the hell is that?
Rayo encendido.
Licorice.
I know.
That.
Also, it was always the worst smelling marker.
Oh. You know who I have a love-hate relationship with? Or what I have a love-hate relationship with? I'm sorry, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. Skittles.
I get it.
Because
I get it.
My problem with Skittles,
I like Skittles, but I understand.
that till this day, when you first quickly see them, you think they're M&Ms, but they're not. They're not M&Ms, and they're not bad. I don't think Skittles are bad, but it's not an M&M.
They're like the oatmeal raisin cookie of candies.
That is perfect. That is. I don't think you've ever said anything more like groundbreaking than that. It's sort of like when you're at the office and somebody's like, "Oh, I brought cookies today," and then
Right.
you see the plastic thing,
Right.
You know, from far away, like, "There go to the cookies," and then you get there, like, "Oh, they're oatmeal raisin bran cookies." Like,
You're still gonna have one,
I'm still gonna have one, but
but it's not the same.
it's like, oh.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, fine, I'll have the
Like,
cookie.
I'll have the cookie. Fine.
Okay, you just ruined my morning.
Be like, oh. I mean, I'll just use milk. It'll be fine.
I'll never forget that one time. Actually, this is a really funny story. One time, oh yeah, this was years ago. This is when I worked at ADP. This was pre-law school. That we were having a breakfast at like a potluck
Right.
breakfast, and some people were gonna, everybody was gonna bring something different. And this one of the girls in my department was like, "Oh, I'm gonna bring like the sweet stuff."
Okay,
You
like
know?
un postre.
Right,
okay.
we thought like danishes,
A muffin.
yeah, stuff like that.
Okay, donuts.
Do you know what she brought?
Oh, God. Did she bring un brazo gitano?
No. She brought like 20, it was a lot, of those cottage cheeses that have the little flip thing that you can flip like pineapple or like fruit. And I'm like, espérate un momentico.
What kind of crazy bitch brought that to a potluck?
Here I was thinking I was going to have a banana bran muffin or like a delicious
Donuts.
cinnamon roll or like a donut.
A
Y tú
Danish.
trae corachi con fruta. I mean, really. I mean, really.
Also, that's a very presumptuous thing.
How dare you think that we're gonna want cottage
To
cheese?
think that like everybody's just down for cottage cheese,
yeah,
which I do not care for
Okay.
cottage cheese.
Domino's or Pizza Hut?
That's a toughie.
Okay,
Because it's a toughie because at the end of the day, like I love all pizza, but so the thing is, I get Domino's a lot because it's 3 blocks down from my
Yeah.
house. But there's something about the Pizza Hut pan crust.
oh, I think it's gross.
I love it.
The pan crust, the one that's like a sponge of grease.
Yeah, it's horrible for you, but I
Okay,
love it.
I don't like it. I have a similar. Well, no, here actually no, I don't have a similar problem because the thing is that with the Coke and Pepsi thing, I prefer Pepsi over Coke, but I like the branding of Coke more.
Right.
But I like Coke.
Right.
I don't like Pizza Hut. But
Really?
Pizza Hut gives me a warm feeling because
Do you
as
still
a
think of
kid,
the red and white tablecloth,
Of course.
and all of that, and the stained glass?
yes, of
lamp?
course,
Yes.
we used to go to Pizza Hut so much.
El de
And
la
to
40 y la
us,
107.
we used to go to the one. No, the 40-107 is open. New. That was open in the 90s.
Bueno, yes.
We used to go. We used to go to the one on 107th and 8th Street. That's now a Saruchi.
Oh, okay, no.
Actually, no. Now it's a Diced.
Oh, okay, no.
by
We used-
FIU.
before the one on 107 in La 40, we used to go to the one in La 40, which I think now
Yes.
is a Latin,
Yes,
a
or that one,
Colombian
or that one,
restaurant.
or
Yeah,
that one.
yeah.
Yes. I mean, our big restaurants growing up, where my mom would take out her nice blouses, was either Pizza Hut or Sizzler.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
That's where my mom would take out her nice blouse. Right.
Right, porque iban a ir a comer.
But íbamos a ir a comer because a Pizza Hut was a restaurant,
Yeah.
right? And then of course the women,
The lunch buffet.
no, the women would always go have the salad
salad.
bar with the French dressing because
Dressings are don't have nationalities anymore.
it's funny because the Pizza Hut, like I'm looking at the salad bar right now. It was the salad mix, and they only had like iceberg lettuce,
Yeah.
right, chopped up. Then they had like French dressing, Italian dressing, Thousand Island. That was a very 80s.
That was very
thing.
80s.
Thousand Island dressing. I think they even have Caesar. Then they had like the croutons, and then they had these little seeds, like these little.
Then they had olives.
They did have olives, and they had like those little seeds that you put on things.
Like the little peppercorn.
No, not peppercorns. They were like sunflower seeds, but without the coating, like the actual
Okay,
seed.
the seed itself.
And then my mom would always have the salad, and then
Well, that's on brand for your mother.
right. But going to Pizza Hut was such an event. But with that said,
Especially when you had Book It.
yes. Oh well, of course, book it in the
Yes.
80s. You would read a book and then get a personal pizza,
Yeah.
a personal pan pizza. But I love the pizza. Makes me feel all warm and fuzzy. But
But the actual
I love
product
Domino's.
is okay. Okay.
Oh yeah, listeners. When in Domino's, you could create your own pizza. Get a thin crust pizza with the garlic parmesan sauce with Italian sausage and onions, and you could thank me later.
Okay, Phil from Beyond South Beach. I don't remember it right now. He's like, okay, if you ever want to have like a taco pizza from Domino's, order it with this, and it's
It's a
gonna
taco
taste
pizza?
like it'll taste like a goddamn taco.
Well, yeah.
And he was right.
Yeah, but it's thin crust.
Yes.
Right, it has to be thin crust.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Which I'm not a huge fan of.
I'm
thin
not a
crust
fan of thin
pizza,
crust, but-
the thing with thin crust pizza is like depending on how you make it, like it could taste like different things.
Right. It depends
Right.
on the toppings. Yeah.
Right. So Cheetos or cheese puffs.
Cheese puffs.
What?
I just like the puffiness of it.
What type of deranged person prefers cheese puffs over Cheetos?
I like cheese puffs.
You know what I love, and nobody ever talks about? Oh my god, I could eat the whole bag. The pretzels that are honey mustard,
Oh, those are like
like the pretzel bites.
those are addicting because they're tiny. Yeah.
Oh my god, but in the honey mustard flavor, I mean, I can say that they have other flavors. They have like cheddar.
I don't think I've ever had them.
Generally, I would go for cheddar.
Nope, I don't think I've had them.
No, but there's something about the honey,
Honey
mustard,
mustard.
ones. They're Snyder's.
Snyder's of Hanover. Yes.
Yups. Oh my god, so good. So good. All right, let's have a Werther's original now.
I don't like those. I don't like hard candy.
Wait, no, all this
Except for Madonna's
food-
album.
All this food is making us very, very hungry.
Well, it's making us thirsty.
No, it's making us hungry
Well-
and thirsty.
Well, we're not giving out a last meal.
So I actually want to go first. So I'm not.
All right.
My last soda today is more of something to bring awareness to than to give a last soda, because Julia Roberts is doing very well. She doesn't need a last soda. But Julia Roberts earlier today, earlier this,
What the hell's going on?
earlier, or well, I guess I could give a last soda to the King family. So earlier this week, with Gayle King, Julia Roberts, she had never disclosed this because this is something that people would have known or talked about. Disclosed that her birth was paid by the King family, and when I mean King, I mean
Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott King. And what she was saying was that what had happened was, her parents apparently didn't have a lot of money, and her parents owned a theater school. And obviously this was, Julia Roberts
60s?
is 50 something, so this was right around the time that Jim Crow was ending in the mid 60s. So that would have been right around the time she was born. And she was saying that they had a theater school, and the King family had approached her parents to see if they would allow certain students to go to her school, which obviously were black students.
Right.
And her parents were like, of course.
Right.
So those kids, who weren't able to get into many
Okay,
any
weren't able to go
school
elsewhere.
at that time,
Right.
due to the Jim Crow laws, or the Jim Crow South, this was in Georgia. I didn't know she was from Georgia.
She's from Georgia.
Her parents were, of course,
Right.
and they were students at the school. They allowed them to go to the school. So her parents became very good friends with the King family.
Oh wow.
Who
knew, yeah.
Who knew? And then apparently, when her mom gave birth to her, and I guess they were, in a little bit of financial,
A little cash trap.
yeah, they paid for her birth, and I thought that was such a remarkable story.
Wow.
It's like, hi,
what are the odds?
yeah, it's like, hi, my birth was paid for by Marlon.
By the King family.
So I just thought that was something worth sharing. And I thought it was really telling that she had never said that. Because I feel that somebody else would have been like, you know what? Look at how progressive my parents were.
That's true.
Right?
That's
Like,
true.
She was always very discreet about it.
Like I could see Lena Dunham doing that.
Well, yes. We know how much you love Lena Dunham.
But am I wrong?
I'm not going to say you're not.
Okay, thank you.
So, a soda to the King family for, obviously many contributions.
Yeah.
But, for that little antidote.
Now
I
we
thought
can
that
add
was-
Julia Roberts
I
to.
thought that was very interesting.
That is awesome.
And then I started thinking, who paid for Robert's birth?
For Eric,
Eric, I mean,
is he younger? No, he's older.
is older.
He's older. Oh, so they were okay then.
Yeah, for Eric. So,
Well, that's a great one. So mine's a little more fluffy. So as you know, this past week was Halloween, and on The View, the ladies all dressed up as different characters.
Oh, yes.
And our girl.
wait, are you the one quoting The View this week?
I am the one. Well, somebody had to do it.
Right.
We're almost at the end of the show. And so, our girl, Ana Navarro, dressed up as Charo. And my last one is not to Ana Navarro, but it is to the actual Charo who showed up
Yes.
on set, full regalia. I mean, the full Charo of it all.
Yeah.
And I'm giving it to her because she is a classically trained, a flamenco guitarist. She's super talented and all that. But what I love about Charo is that Charo has essentially taken a book out of the Dolly Parton playbook and said, you know what? I know what I bring to the table, and I'm going to be in on the joke.
Right.
I'm going to have fun with this. I know there's a certain perception of me, but I know who I am, and I know I'm talented, and I know what I've got to
Yeah.
give. So I'm just going to go out there. You know what? You want to think that I'm this ditz and, the coochie coochie girl, and you know what? Great. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be. And I'm going to laugh all the way to the bank.
Right.
And people are going to love me for it, and I'm going to become an icon as a
Right,
result.
Because, people are still talking about Charo,
Yeah. And she's phenomenal on Instagram. She, again, I love when these celebrities are in on the joke, so to speak.
But you know what I
right?
think is incredible about Charo is that Charo lives on.
Yeah.
And it's not like Charo has had, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way, I mean this actually in a very complimentary way. It's not like Charo has had this breakthrough project.
It's not like she was on Friends for 10 years.
Right. I mean, she's known as
Right.
having a lot of guest stars in The Love Boat.
Yeah. She's known
Right.
as Charo.
Right. And Cuchi Cuchi.
Right.
But somehow that has lived on. And I
Yep.
think that or that, she was in this iconic movie.
Right.
She was in Titanic. Right.
I want to see Charo on Titanic.
Oh.
Yak the iceberg!
She'll be the man playing on.
That's a fun way to go. With Charo.
Can you imagine her singing My Heart Will Go On?
And now I need it. And now I want her as a duet with Celine.
Oh, can you imagine those theatrics?
Oh my God. Okay. She's actually coming in concert.
Who?
Charo.
Oh, I thought you said Celine.
No, Charo's coming in concert in February to the Aventura Cultural Center.
Right.
We have to go.
I don't know any of her songs.
It doesn't matter. Just go on Spotify, listen to a bunch of it. It doesn't matter. I want to go see Charo because I want to go see Charo.
Well, yes.
I want to
it's
see the
a
Charo of it
spectacle.
all,
Yes.
right? But also, she is such a great guitarist.
No, she
like
is.
that to see her play live, I think would just be even if you don't know her quote unquote music, right? Watching her play will probably be just one of those like, wow, I'm watching Charo do what she does as only
Right.
she can.
You are right. Because there's nobody like her. And let's just remind everybody that her name is María del Rosario Mercedes Pilar Martínez Molina Baeza. Also known as
Charo. Yes. So there you go.
She's great.
Charo and the King family.
She's another national treasure.
She is another national treasure. She's a dual national treasure.
She's an international treasure. Wow, an international treasure. That's
Wow.
right.
That should
And
be
you
the
know
next
what?
Nicolas
She's
Cage
one of
movie.
these people that she just brings so much joy and just
She's just happy
Yeah.
and positive. And listen, I mean, a few years back, actually, her husband took his own life.
Yeah.
Due to depression and you know, to be able to survive through something like that and still maintain that outlook and that personality, it's a testament to who she is, I think.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, all right, buddy. We hope you listened, laughed, and learned. And as always, remember to grab your pastelito, your croqueta, and your cafecito. And thank you so much for joining us. Have a great weekend, everybody.
All right. Cuídense, mi gente. Bye. Pero Let Me Tell You is co-hosted by Darian Borges and Ismaeliano, produced by Ismaeliano, and our theme, Pero Let Me Tell You Freestyle, is composed by Michael Angelo Lomlaplex, the official gay guy. And don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review on iTunes.
What happens when you put two culture critics from national television, one Latino and one Black, in front of a microphone? You get the Brown and Black Podcast.
Hey everyone, I'm Jack Rico.
And I'm Mike Sargent.
And in a time where voices of color are mostly absent from the media,
Brown and Black intends to speak candidly about the controversial issues that affect us.
we also have some great guests on the show. I mean, we've had John Leguizamo, George Lopez,
Spike Lee, Harvey Mason Jr.
But not only that, Mike, we're really all about breaking down race in pop culture so that our creators of color can be on the screen.
Brown and Black is about the intersection between race and pop culture. We're just waiting for you to listen.
Listen to Brown and Black on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, or wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, everybody. So we have with us today Tristan, and we're probably going to be laughing as we record this a lot, mostly because we just spent like 10 minutes talking and we realized that the recorder wasn't even on. So thank you for joining us again and again, Tristan.
And again.
So what we were talking about, but nobody could hear us because I am the dodo head who didn't push record.
Agreed.
Hey, you don't have to agree that quickly. All right, so it was Halloween this past week, and the last time you were here, you were talking to us about the game Doors and the entities. And so for Halloween, you dressed up as one of the entities,
Seek.
right? Seek. All right. And Seek, remind me again, what does Seek look like?
So it's just
And I'm sorry, buddy, but remember,
just-
we got to say all this all over again.
like, he's just basically just black, nothing else, and then an eyeball.
And just
on
one,
his face.
like a big eyeball in the middle of his face.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I saw the pictures. It translated really well into real life because you were wearing like a black bodysuit
Yes.
with a black beanie, and then
An eyeball.
and the eyeball. Now you
The
had
eyeball and the beanie had Velcro.
yes, yeah. Please sponsor us, Velcro, please. I'll take the Velcro money. I'm down for Velcro money.
Same.
That's a lot of money. Do you know how much money Velcro has? Yo, that's a big company. So, all right. So now this is actually great because now
Hold
you
on, I would like to be sponsored by Shrek.
the movie.
Okay.
Okay, well, hey, look, I don't think there's any new Shrek movies coming out, but if they want to sponsor us, I'll take it.
My favorite movie was Shrek 5.
There was a fifth one?
No.
Oh, okay, you threw me off. I was like, wait a minute, Shrek, Shrek 2, Shrek 3, no, Shrek the Third, Shrek Ever After, right? There's 4 of them,
Yeah.
right? 4. Yeah, you threw me off there, bro. Making up movies over here on the show, making me crazy. Ugh, I'm telling you, this kid's gonna drive me nuts. So, all right, so back to Halloween really quick though. So, you went trick or treating, duh, because that's the best part about Halloween.
wow.
And as he's so professional, he's sipping his little water. He's here for the interview. He comes prepared. You know, I love these. I love when guests show up prepared. Dang it! So, all right, what was the best candy you got on Halloween?
I got Twix, Snickers, and Reese's. Those were the best.
Those are the best.
The go.
Which one's your favorite of the 3?
Has to be either Reese's or Twix.
Okay. So for the record, you saved me none. And I love Reese's. That's
I
like my
saved-
favorite.
I saved one Snickers.
Yeah, for you. You didn't say one for me.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I would like a Reese's Pieces. Wait, was it Reese's Pieces or Reese's Peanut Butter Cup?
Are those the same thing? Actually, no, they're not.
No. Reese's
Reese's
Pieces is
Pieces
the-
are like the M&M.
Right.
M&M
So it was a peanut butter cup.
Yeah,
Oh, I love that. Those are my freaking favorite.
I know, right? Same.
Oh, they're so good.
Now it's time to make you hungry.
Yeah, thank you.
Bacon with oil.
Oh no, don't no.
Bacon with oil tastes so good. Oh
It
my
does.
god, the satisfying thing that reflects in my mind, the satisfying like video on YouTube of someone just pouring that oil on the bacon.
No, but that's
and
dude.
then-
There's a limit. There's a
and then-
limit though. There's a limit because after a while it's just too much oil. And you know what happens when you have too much oil?
It tastes way better.
No, it makes you break out and you have pimples. And nobody wants pimples. I guarantee you, nobody wants pimples. So yeah, don't have too much oil. It's not going to end well for your skin.
Life is cruel, just like oil.
I can't hear what you're saying.
Good.
Okay, well this is not ASMR, so I don't know what's going on over there. All right. So Halloween's over.
Yeah.
Next up is Thanksgiving. Are you a big Thanksgiving person? Like, do you? Because I love Thanksgiving. To me,
I prefer Christmas.
well, of course you do, because it's your birthday. Duh.
But I prefer Halloween more as well.
Okay, so you prefer Halloween and Christmas to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Okay.
With Thanksgiving, that turkey with the gravy. Gravy is for like people that live in the 1900s.
Hey,
Like
I was
the
born in the
1910s.
1900s. Okay.
The 1910s.
I was born in the
Like the
1900s.
1900 like the early 1900s, like the 1910s.
No,
Oh,
dude, I love me some gravy.
Cowboy life.
I love me some gravy on mashed potatoes. Ooh, that's some good stuff.
Look, you're gonna hate me for this, and
Oh,
I think
no.
everyone else is.
What happened? You don't like gravy?
No, I don't like mashed potatoes.
You don't like mashed potatoes? Really?
I just destroyed society by saying that.
I mean, a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. But wait, are you being for real now? You don't like mashed potatoes?
Yep.
Oh
I
wow,
hate them.
why? You just don't care for them?
Sometimes I can like them, sometimes I don't.
So it depends on the day.
Yeah, I mean,
You gotta be in the mood
the
for
mashed potatoes from school, they can be pretty good.
it. Okay. All right. Now, but mashed potatoes with bacon in it.
I've never tried that.
Well, I mean, there you go.
I just ruined society more.
No.
even more.
Now we all know why you don't like mashed potatoes, because you haven't had the good stuff. That's why.
I've had it with gravy. Just kidding, I haven't.
All right. Well, you need to tell your mom to make it for you with bacon and cheese. It's so freaking good.
What about the gravy?
Well, the gravy,
I
I
want to
mean,
be a 1910s boy.
You okay? I mean, be a 1910s boy. I'm not gonna
I
tell.
want to be a cowboy.
Who am I to tell you not to be a cowboy? I mean, hey, live your dreams, Tristan. Dang it. All right. But do you? Okay, so you're not really big on Thanksgiving.
Nope.
All right, fine. I'm the only
Turkey's
one
good.
here.
Turkey's good.
Okay, you like turkey.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't, because I like turkey, and my sister makes really good mac and cheese.
Oh my god, I'm hungry.
I know this is not good for us to be doing so late at night, because we're gonna get really freaking hungry, and then we gotta go to sleep. All right, so. Oh yes, now that you said F, you know what, listeners? Recently, Tristan introduced me to something that actually I really enjoyed. I really truly enjoyed it. It's called Alphabet Lore.
Yeah.
And it's a series of videos, right,
Yeah.
on YouTube.
I mean, yeah.
And it's essentially the alphabet, but there's some drama going on in the alphabet, right? I mean, it's safe to say, right, that there's some drama going on in those
Z
letters.
is the whole freaking planet.
Well, don't ruin it for people, because I want them to go watch it.
saying.
But there's a lot of like backstory, and F is like a serial killer.
Because they all betrayed him.
That's true. My favorite is Q.
But don't worry. Yeah, my mom's favorite is also Q. I mean, Q. Q.
Yeah, but it's cool because it's like there's like a story. They're like almost like little anime, right? There's that whole part where they do the transformation, like Sailor
Yeah.
Moon almost.
They did an epilogue recently. I
Uh-huh.
showed you.
Yeah.
And then just freaking time traveled back.
Wait,
They just-
what?
Back in time.
Okay, clearly I was not paying attention.
Okay, cool. And
They time traveled.
that's good for you.
They
And literally time traveled and then just didn't betray F.
So then none of that happened
Yeah.
because when they travel back in time, they in essence negated everything we just saw, right?
Q just gave N the thing. I don't know what it's called. And then
Oh, like they have like little
yeah,
like,
I think
like gems or something like.
Q actually just stole S's thing.
Mm.
So it's F, L, M, N, O, P, and X that have one.
They had like the little gems like
Yeah,
that,
actually, I think
that transforms them.
I think Z also has one as well.
Well, Z has everything because Z's the planet.
No.
I mean, it's all happening on Planet Z. Oh, I wonder if whoever created this is a B-52s fan. Anyway.
Gen Z.
Anyway. All right. Well, listeners, I got to tell you, if you haven't seen Alphabet Lore, yeah, I mean, that's literally like all the letters, all they do is say their name, like their name. That's it.
Yeah.
You have to watch it. It's a lot of fun. It's really wonky, kind of wacky and weird, but you get very involved. Right? Like you get involved in like the story of it all.
G.
All right. Well, thank you
Hold
again.
on, I'm not done yet. I want to say one last thing.
Okay.
So today, at school, we were learning in science about matter, and the teacher asked me to give an example of matter.
Okay.
Of a solid.
A solid. All right.
And then I have a friend in my class named Dylan, and I raised my hand. This is a true story. I said this today. I raised my hand. The teacher called me, and I said Dylan's pinky.
Well, you're not wrong.
I said Dylan's pinky.
You're not wrong. That's a right answer. That is a right answer.
I think my entire table started laughing.
Did she say it was correct? Because it is.
I don't even remember.
Oh. You gotta remember these
And
things,
then
buddy.
She gave she asked for an example of gas,
Mm-hmm.
and I said Taco Bell, because Taco Bell gives you gas.
That is a very, very
Taco
good
Bell
response, my
gives you
friend.
gas.
That is a very good reply.
And trust me, this is true.
It is true. But you know what? On that note, because once you get to the gas of Taco Bell, it's time to wrap it up. All right. So thank you again for stopping by. I'm looking forward to talking to you later this year. Hopefully, we'll see when the last episode is. Maybe it'll be, right before your birthday. We don't know. All right. But thank you for stopping by, my friend.
Okay, so before we leave, I'm gonna give you a piece of advice.
Okay.
Never look at the eyes from doors.
Oh, from doors. Okay, because if not, you're going to walk into door. Like, I just got it. Okay. Smart kid over here. All right. Bueno, you heard it from Tristan. In the game doors, don't look in the eyes. But in real life, you should look people in the eye.
Okay,
All
just
right.
so you know, there's two eyes in there. Seek's eyes, a little